Did you know that Microsoft Cowork has also the Claude models available for you? And you can do many different kind of things with the Claude. But here's one example on how to create the AI agent with the Cowork. And the agent will be published in your environment with the Copilot Studio, so it's available for all of the possible users in your organization, or you can define who's going to be getting access on it. You can create almost any kind of agents with this one. You just have to describe what you want, where is the data, and what kind of an outcome you're expecting on the agent to have. In my case, I create a student assistant, which is helping students to do their homework after the school. It has a possibility for the teacher to upload all the materials in one location, and when students go home, they can then access the same materials at home as they had it in the school already. And if they have some challenges on the homework, they can discuss with that agent, and it's going to be giving the personalized instructions and all the time helping the user to be able to do the homework better. So it's on time support, but this could be, for example, onboarding agent for the organization, new team member joining into the team, how to help the new team member to find all the information what is needed, and how to provide on-time support for the new users also, and possibility to ask many different kind of questions, so it's always personalized answers based on the need. In my case, I didn't have any example data for the agent, so I decided that I'm asking the Copilot Cowork also to create me the materials. So this is also same time creating the example materials. But if you, for example, already have the data existing in your environment, you can tell the Cowork that I have the data and data is located here. So I'm going to be using this and that kind of information within the agent knowledge. So you don't have to create everything by yourself. And when you have created the agent, it will also give you information how to implement that one for the end users. While it's looking at your description, what you have been asking, it's also analyzing the prompt, checking that does it have all of the needed information. Sometimes if you don't have all the information in the request, it will ask you some additional questions also while it's working on it. It might have, for example, asking where is the data located, or who's going to be the end user, and that kind of questions. But in my case, I already put it in my prompt, so that's why the agent can start to work with the existing data. I also added that this student would be an English student on 9th grade and using the IB curriculum. And I didn't give the IB curriculum for the agent. I could have been already giving that one also, but I was asking it to find it from the internet and make sure that it is the valid version and not some hallucination version. So when you are creating the agent, you don't have to know everything. And it's good to remember that this will be the first version of the agent. And when you have tested that one, you can always come back to the Copilot Cowork and ask to make the modification. And that one I'm going to be showing in the future videos, that how to modify the existing agents already. For me, this is, for example, a useful tool, and I've created already a few agents with this one because it's fast and easy to test and pilot some use cases. And I have a lot of use cases, but I have to be testing all the time. If I want to have a bit more details, and if I want to create a more complicated agent, I use our frontier firm agent case creation, which is a bit more sophisticated version of agent creation, because it's also managing the complex agents and many different also aspects on that one. But this use case what I create now was simple, easy agent, but before the Cowork came, it would have been taking a long time, or then it would have been needing a lot more technical person to create these kind of things. For me, creating the agent is now coming more and more easier. And while I'm discussing with my customers also, they're all the time asking the similar questions that how do we make this more easier and how can we test this one? And with this kind of approach, you can pilot multiple agents even in one day. The whole process for me took less than half an hour, including the testing and piloting, and I had to do a few modifications for the first version because I wanted to do it a bit more detailed and I wanted to have the class materials also in my agent. So this is the version which was already the useful agent for me. I can also don't have to be writing these things to the agent. I can talk with the Cowork also. Open the microphone and explain the need, what I want to be doing, and ask that can you help me to plan this kind of agent. So when it's helping me to plan the agent, it can also make more questions for me. So hopefully when you try this one, you see how simple it is and no coding needed at any time. There are some small things you need to do in Copilot, and when you're using the Copilot, it's also going to be giving you the instructions how to do these things. So let's wait for a while and see how many files it's going to be creating. You can already see that it has created multiple different files for you, and all the files will be located in output folder, so you can access the files also later if needed. And if you would have been giving some additional files for it manually, it would have been putting it into input folder. And there is also a possibility that you could have been asking it also to create your PowerPoint presentation on the agent or use case examples how to do it. It would have been creating it on the same time for you, and it could have been adding some skills on it. Now it has created the agent. It shows you that here is the files, what you're gonna be using, the example folders. It's also showing you the instructions that what you have to do, and this configuration agent documentation is important for you because that's the thing that you need to copy in the Copilot Studio also in the later phases to describe how the agent will be working. The README files are here and all the instructions, and the zip file is also holding, in my case, all my instructions, example materials, and here you can see the curriculum, how it's linked on that one, who is it for, and how it works. So simple instructions for you. You can do later a better user manuals and everything. And here is also implementation plan, step-by-step guide for you, how to use the files what it has created for you, how to copy the files to the OneDrive, how to share the files in the OneDrive, and what to do in the Copilot Studio also when you open the Copilot Studio for the first time. Everybody doesn't have a Copilot Studio access, but if you have access on that one, I'm gonna be showing next how to use the Copilot Studio with these files. And here is also how to publish and share the information to the end user. So really easy and straightforward process so far. And let's go to the Copilot Studio next. Now we are in Copilot Studio, and here you can make sure that you're in the right environment, and you can create a blank agent. And when you create an agent, you can create a name, but it's useful to identify your agent for different purposes and generate agent. And then it's important for you to look the instructions. That is the place where you're gonna be copying the instructions that the Copilot Cowork you created for you. These are quite comprehensive instructions and how it's gonna be working. You can then save it and it starts to create you the agent, but it's not ready yet. You need to keep a tool. This is the only place where you need to go. On graphical interface, add a tool, and provide access to your OneDrive. So you place the files in the OneDrive, or you can place it in somewhere else, and then you need to grant the access for that location. Acknowledge, I add the location where the files will be located. So in my case, I click again the OneDrive and browse items, my files, and then agents, and the Great English British folder, which was the location where I have copied all the files that the Cowork has created for me. And when I choose the file and folder, I can add it, and then it's gonna be going to your knowledge place. And this is the place where it's gonna be finding the information for you in the future. You can make sure that all the settings are correct. If you want, you can just follow the tools and knowledge and then overview back. And if anything else is needed, you can add the different things on the agent also. Now it's time to test the agent. You can see what lessons we have in the agent availabilities. And these are the ones that you already added in the OneDrive. It's gonna be first time asking the permission to use the tools what you have added to the agent. So it's making sure that it's gonna be providing the real answers. You need to allow the tools. But now you can see that it has the few lessons already in there and few topics. And if you want to know more about the topics what it has created for you, you can continue the discussions and see how it's going to be working. It's good to try many things because it may need some other access or modifications when you ask these things. For example, creative writing and how it's aligned to the curriculum. Now I want to know a bit more than in the previous one. And now it's going to be also looking what kind of access it needs. Does it have already everything and all the skills, and connect to continue. So this is the second time it's asking because it's using a different way of looking at the data sources. So that's the way how you can start the testing. And now you can see what happens on the agent when it's looking at these things. And now you can see the full process all the time. So you can, if there's some error, something like that, it's going to be showing you what is wrong and why it's not working. But in my case, it is working just fine. It has just completed and everything is green. So now it's formalizing the answer for you. And now it's linked and you can see how the lessons are connected to the things that you're supposed to be also studying in the school. So this is how the student can use the personalized learning agent for the learning and studying. And for example, if there is a new class, always teacher can put the files on the same folder, and when students go home, there is always up-to-date information. And for example, in here, I'm also adding the questions, how do I practice the things that I have to be studying? Or I can ask what kind of homework we have, but it gives me now some kind of ideas about the practicing, and it's again aligning all of the practices based on the material what I have, including the curriculum. So it's looking what is needed on my level to be passing, or what kind of skills and competencies am I needed to have. This could be again an HR agent or anything else. So it's giving you a lot more guidances and help you in multiple different areas. When you have done it, you can publish the agent. And before that, when you can choose how to publish it, but in the publish phase, you can say that let's publish this to everybody, or then you can choose a certain group of people who's going to be having access on this one. I have published this one in my Teams and in my M365 Copilot app, so that's easy to use and it's always with me. And you can look the user rights, who has access and what kind of access they have. If you want to make some small group of pilot, it's good to do it and share the agent to certain people, not to everybody. So when you start to use it, remember to check the rights before publishing anything to everybody. Now that you have published the agent, you can look at it in your M365 Copilot application from the agent store in the apps. And you can just open, in my case, I already installed, but you can install it in your Copilot application. And now it's ready to use. What lessons do we have available? You can ask again here, whatever is interesting to you, and the students can use this one from home or any place where they have access to the Copilot, or then this could be also installed inside of the team. So you can choose the best way and easiest way to access the solution also. And while it's thinking, it's going through the same topics as we already discussed. So it's looking only on the material that you have defined in the Copilot Studio. So it's not accessing anything else. You can see the same answers as we had it in the previous Copilot Studio side. And you can also ask, why do I need to study this thing? Or how it's aligned for my curriculum. And it's again going to be going through the same documents and giving you the answer based on the curriculum and based on the course material also. So this is quick and easy way to create solution for your students, but it could be also for anything else within the organization. So hopefully this was useful, and in the next video I will be showing how to modify also the agents if you want to be making more agents in the future.